So sad. That was a really good exchange between someone that I was trying to service, but unfortunately, I guess it didn't record. It recorded our interaction, but the audio went off. I think I know what happened, but the audio went off, and yeah. So I'm heading back home because I'm done. I only had 7 to serve today. I only served 4. I am just done for the day. It's raining, and I would like to get off the road, so I'm just done. I've finished early. I haven't been on the road long at all. I actually had to go to the doctor out here because, as I mentioned, I did injure myself, and I have broken fingers. So I am just at my limit for the day, and I am done, so I'm going to go back home. But it's unfortunate because the last video was a good exchange between someone that I was trying to serve, but uh, I had the car on, and the audio was still connected to the car instead of the phone, and I did not realize that. But so basically what happened was I knocked on the door. I know who's the owners of the home, right? Because sometimes it will tell you who the owners are of the home. So I asked for the person that I'm attempting to serve. She said, no, she's not here. And I said, does she live here? Yes, she lives here. I said, are you a family member? She said, yes, I'm her mother. She had a really strong Italian accent. She was about over 65 years old. She stood about 5'5". She weighed over 180 pounds. And she had gray hair. These are the things that I make note of. You know how people say, they don't judge, they don't see color. But in this business, you need to see color, you need to see hair, you need to see size. You need to make sure you're aware of if there's an accent, if there's a mustache, if they wear glasses, if there's a tattoo, if there's a visible mole. You need to see. You need to make sure you see all of that and some. Okay. So if you're one of those people who are like, I don't see color, don't even think about coming into this business because you need to see that. So she was getting a little frustrated. Naturally, people get frustrated when they have people at their home that they don't really know. So I don't take it. I'm not offended by that at all. And she says, well, what is this about? And I said, I'm a process server. And she says, oh, like, oh. And she says, well, what is it about? I said, she's being sued. And she said, she doesn't have a penny to her name. And then she said, but she's a hard worker. But she doesn't have a penny to her name. And I said, oh, I'm sorry about that. Are you willing to take the papers on behalf of her? What's your name? Tells me your first name. And I said, your last name? She doesn't want to tell me your last name. I said, well, you're not going to be held liable for any of this debt. You're just taking the papers, and I'm just making note of who I gave the papers to. And she's like, doesn't want to give me her name. Doesn't want to give me her last name, but it doesn't matter because I already knew her last name, so that's why I didn't pressure her. And she said, well, who does she owe? And I didn't say because I really didn't know because I didn't look. Who does she owe? And she says, and I said, well, I don't know. If you take the papers, you can find out the information, the court date, and who she owes. But she doesn't. She says, well, I don't want to do that, but let me see the papers. I'm like, baby, once you take these papers, they are yours, okay? You have been served, okay? You have been served. There is no taking the papers back. As soon as she took those papers, I was gone. She was still, by the time I got in the car, she was still at the door looking at the papers. So, not that I'm trying to, fool her, but to do a job, I'm there to serve you. So she did because she took the papers, and she can go from there. She can go ahead and give them to her daughter there. So then at that point, I make sure that I take a picture, right? I'm taking pictures of the home. I am, taking pictures of the license plate. I'm making note on my app of the first name. I have the last name, even though she didn't want to give it to me, but I had it on the paperwork already. Uh, I'm making note of what I saw at the property. I like to be really, I like to be really descriptive on what I see at the property. Like there was two cars there. You know, one was blue, one was red. One had a plate number of this. One had a plate number of this. Or anything else that I see. If there's a package on the floor, on the porch, I don't touch the packages, but most landlords in any companies who are hiring, they expect that there's a package that you're at least looking at it. You don't touch it, y'all, because that's a whole nother crime, right? So we're just taking a look, see if we can see someone's name on it, and that's what we do, and that's what we do. Thank you, guys, and that's what we do. Hey, yeah. So it's pretty easy, you all. Like that could have been a little bit of an argument if I was a sensitive person. Thank you for the likes, you all. I could have been if I was a sensitive person, then I could have like argued with her, but it's not necessary. It's quick and easy. As you guys see, I'm in and I'm out. 60 minutes, 60 seconds, and I'm gone. At that, because she chatted a little bit. I stood there a little bit longer. But other than that, it's fine. Oh, you've been taking pictures for solar panels. Okay. So they're not the solar panels people aren't paying, or process server people aren't paying. That's interesting. I'd like to hear more about that. Yeah. So, okay. The homeowner. Got it. Got it. There's so many ways to make money, you all. I know some of us are looking for how can I do a couple of deals and make five, $10,000, and it's but sometimes when you first come into the business, you might have to just build yourself a little bit more to get that kind of money. Sometimes it can happen immediately, but more times than not, oftentimes than not, it just doesn't happen that way. I knock on the door and post a letter and take a picture. Got it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's so many different ways that we can earn money. It's just like many of us are looking for that big paycheck. And sometimes those type of positions take you have to put more money up front. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to wholesale, you got to put money up for the gas, for driving for dollars. You have to put money up for your sign. There's all different huh, there's all different things that you have to put up. If you're doing envelopes, you have to put that up. If you're looking to do life insurance, there's so many exams that you have to take, and then you have to get insurance and bonded and all of that stuff. Even with being a notary, there are little upfront costs. The biggest thing is your computer, your scanner, things of that nature that many people, some people aren't willing to drop $300-400 on a good printer. You can't be walking trying to do this with an inkjet. It's just not going to happen. You need a laser. So it's just, it's a different type of sacrifices, and we have to decide what kind of sacrifices we're willing to take. What makes sense to us to do. So, able to work. It's not my dominant hand, so, it's good. I'm not in a major pain where, this is a big inconvenience for me because it's not, but it's great because, my children are driving now, so they can do some things for me, and I don't have to run back and forth picking them up for various reasons, so I'm loving that. But I'm done for the day. I only worked an hour. I had 7, only served 4. It wasn't even an hour because I had to break. I broke my time period up because I had to go to the doctor out here. So, give or take, it was like 30 minutes. It was a 30-minute, and these weren't as much money as the ones that we did 2 weeks ago or a week before. And I want to say for it was $200 for the four of those. So they were 50. They were $50. They were $50 each, and it was fine. No biggie, no problem. I always say to people, what could you do with $200? You know, and you have to just decide what works for you. That was an hour, 45 minutes worth of work, and I'm done. I'm done for the day. I already have some other things going on that I will follow up on. You know, you just have to have the most loose streams, y'all. You know, if you have a course that you know that people would love to enroll in, then go ahead and get those courses out. If you have the book has been the hardest thing for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. The book has been the hardest thing for me because I wanted to be a certain way, and finding the people to support you is not always easy. But it's like those are the things that I say that people ought to do. If you have a book or if you have a course, roll that thing out. Roll that thing out because people love courses. Right now, we are in the time of courses. People love taking classes and courses. They love that one-on-one attention or that group energy, and it's just a great time to get it out. And it's just easy to do. It's not very difficult. As long as you know, have the basics, you can find a teacher to help you write it out, or at least to write out the syllabus, and then you work everything else out. But there's so many just different opportunities for us to do, and there's no reason why anyone should be broke. If I'm keeping it all the way real, I don't feel like there's any reason why anyone should be broke right now, because there's just so many ways to make money. Now, I can understand not being a millionaire, I get that, or making six figures, I get that, but there's no reason why anyone should just be dead flat out broke. And if that's you, reach out to me. Reach out to me. But you have to be willing to work. If you're not willing to work, then I'm not able to help. Oftentimes people call and they think I'm gonna do everything for them, and I'll be like, huh? No, ma'am. No, sir. That's not me. I got my own life and own time too. You got to be willing to work. If you're willing to work and you just don't know about these different ways to make and earn money, then I get it. Cool. I can sit down with you. We can have a one-on-one, and I can show you the different ways for you to make money. And darn, I should have went. When you hesitate, that's what happens when you hesitate. But you have to be willing to work. You have to be willing to research. You have to be willing to do all of those things. And if you are, then you will be making money. By the end of the week, I always say, stick with me by the end of the week. If you're willing to follow up on the things that I say, then you will earn money. Just how it goes. Just how it goes. I'm the one in the bunch of my friends that owns that makes the least amount of money. And I be working. I work. I'm doing well for myself, and I'm the one that makes the least amount of money. You know, I'm the one in the family that makes the least amount of money, and I'm making a fair amount of money. Just decided to take different paths, and for some of us, we are, moms, single moms, maybe. I'm not a single mom anymore, but I spent a lot of time being a single mom, and I chose, and my spiritual mom helped me to understand that I chose motherhood.